Welcome back, nerds. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Nerd Space. Today we're going to take a look at Exoprimal as we do a full nerd review on this game, and I give you guys my honest opinions about this game, and it might surprise you honestly. But before we get to that, I do want to make an announcement. We have officially started our Patreon membership program. Guys, I want to thank you all for watching this video and every video that I put up. I want to thank you for the likes, the comments, the dislikes even. It really means a lot to me, guys. And because of that, I also want to let you guys know that if you are looking to help and support the channel and go above and beyond, you can officially join our Patreon membership program. That would really help the channel out. It definitely helps me do more and more content for you guys. And we have two different tier systems to offer you guys, both Stars Bravo Team and Stars Alpha Team, both of which you will get access to the Discord group, and you can communicate with other Patreon members as well as myself. And as an Alpha member, you can actually give me videos that you want me to do on the channel for you guys as ranking videos, as well as some other perks and benefits. But I won't waste any more time, guys. Again, thank you so much for all of your support that you guys have given me since the start of this channel. But without further ado, let's jump into today's nerd review of Exoprimal. That's right, guys, Capcom is taking a shot at the ultimate dinosaur game. And no, it's not Dino Crisis. No, it is Exoprimal, a live service game where you go against hordes and hordes and hordes of dinosaurs. That's what you wanted, right? You didn't want a Dino Crisis, right? No, definitely not. First off, this game is obviously a live service game, and while it's on Game Pass, technically you do have to purchase it on PlayStation and Steam, so I wouldn't consider a free-to-play game because you are paying for it on Game Pass. And I highly recommend, if you're going to play this game, play it on Game Pass. Do not waste $60 to buy this game, because in my opinion, I don't think it's worth that amount at all, especially with all the different microtransactions they put into this game, as well as pay to win scenarios. I don't like the direction that they went with this game, and I don't like how many teases they did to Dino Crisis without giving us a fucking Dino Crisis game. Damn you, Capcom, damn you.
Oh, what? Nothing has gone on or off this island in 3 years.
We're assigning you to a new team.
But anyways, I said I want to focus on the pros, so let's focus on the pros. First off, it's a really fun teamwork squad-based game. I actually had a lot of fun playing a lot of the matches, and honestly, the final round, the final mission of every single match was very interesting and had a lot of anxiety and stress, and kept me motivated to do well so that way my team can come out victorious, especially the PvP. PvE, I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of, but the PvP portion for the final mission is actually a lot of fun. I had a really good time with it. Personally, my favorite playlist includes stuff like Escort the Data Cube. I think it's called Data Key Security. That mission's probably my favorite final mission, and I really like doing that one. But there's some other ones that are kind of similar to like King of the Hill sort of scenarios, or Hardpoint, I guess, similar to like the Call of Duty games, where you have to go to a specific sector, A, B, or C, and you have to defend it while dinosaurs are attacking you, as well as the opposite team. So I really like the final missions for this, especially when it was PvP. Also, the matchmaking is actually really good. You pretty much don't have to wait long at all. I just tested this game out like yesterday actually, just to see how the matchmaking has gone down since the game first released. And surprisingly, it's still doing pretty well. I don't have to wait too long to jump into a match, and I really appreciate that fact. The visuals for the cutscenes, whenever we did get the cutscenes, were actually pretty decent as well. I really enjoyed a lot of the different cutscenes that we did see, and the visuals, of course, with it being on the RE engine, no doubt it was definitely really good looking. I wish the dinosaurs looked a little bit better, but honestly, it was better than I expected, especially for a live service type game. And finally, the combat is actually pretty good. The gameplay is actually decent to where you have a lot of exosuits to choose from, and each of them give you different types of ways to kind of play the game and support your squad. So I really like the different types of suits and how you might want to be a tank or a healer or a fighter or a long distance shooter. There's so many different scenarios you can go with, and different exosuits allow you to kind of play to different styles each time you play through a playlist. But that's gonna end our pros. Everything else I'm about to say, I don't like about Exoprimal. I'm not a huge fan of it. First off, the game gets extremely repetitive. It's over and over and over again of you just killing dinosaurs over and over and over again. And I get it, that's what the game was advertised to be like, but I don't know, it just got really boring and repetitive. Don't get me wrong, I really like the final mission, but in order to get to the final mission, you have to do the exact same types of missions over and over again to get to that final mission. I wish we could just play the final mission, honestly. Like, there's a separate playlist where you can just automatically go do the PvP and do the final missions, because honestly, I don't like the dinosaur call at all, and that's the main type of playlist you have to do leading up to the final mission. Also, the story mode, guys, it is pretty dull and boring. If you're going to play this game for the story, I recommend you don't. First off, it's not like you're playing a single player experience. You have to go play multiplayer matches and it unlocks the story for you. But honestly, this story is kind of boring, predictable, and basic as hell, and it feels like a second thought for the game versus actually being something additional to the game. Like, it feels like they kind of just shoehorn this into the game so they can say, hey, it has a story mode, guys, it has a story mode, you're gonna really like the story, when it definitely was pointless to be there. Honestly, I don't think we really needed it. They might as well just made this a full-blown live service game because it was unneeded, in my opinion. The only good thing is that some of the characters were a little bit interesting, and then we got a little shout out and tease to the main protagonist of the Dino Crisis game with one of the characters, which pisses me off more that we didn't fucking get Dino Crisis. And one of the biggest issues I have with this game is the fact that there are microtransactions in this, and I get it, games are going to have microtransactions. However, this game has a shit ton of microtransactions in it, and if this game was free to play, I can understand that, I can respect that decision. But the fact that this game has a $60 price tag on the PlayStation, on the Xbox, and on the PC, and yeah, I get it, it's on Game Pass, but if you don't have an Xbox, you're paying $60 to play this game. And that pisses me off because the amount of microtransactions, the pay-to-win scenarios in here, it's unreal how much of that is in this game, and it's supposed to be a multiplayer experience, which kind of like sets up the next issue that I am having with this game, and that is the fact that we are supposed to be seeing this game carry on for at least a few years. This is a live service game for Capcom. It's one of their first full-blown, full-devoted live service games. However, the longevity of this game does not feel like it's going to last at all near the amount of time that Capcom is hoping for it to. Because again, the game gets extremely repetitive, and with that element in there, and the fact that there's just the same thing over and over and over again, I can't see this game lasting more than a year. I can easily see this game getting shut down after a year. And that's what annoys me about games like this whenever they do live service games, but they also want to charge a price tag for it, because a lot of people do have to purchase this game. If you are playing on PlayStation, you have no choice but to purchase this game for $60 to play it. But there is a chance that if this game doesn't do well, if the game doesn't have the longevity to help it last for a long time, then just like a lot of those live service games out there that also had a hefty price tag, it's gonna shut down the servers. And when it does that, you now have a $60 game that you paid for that you can't really pay, because this game is all online. There's no single player experience. There's no way you can play this game offline. So that money is pretty much just tossed in the trash. It's just gone. And whenever games do that, it really pisses me off, because I feel like you really have to go one or the other route. I'm not a fan of live service games. However, if you're going to do a live service game where it has to be online 24/7 in order to play and there's no single player experience, then it should be a free-to-play experience. But if you're gonna put a $60 price tag on it on release, then you gotta have a single-player experience or a way to play it offline, or you better plan on never shutting down these servers, because the thing is, people are buying this game for $60. There's a lot of other things that are bothering me. I'm gonna do like a speed run because we're already getting short on time, so let's do a speed run of things that really bother me so much about this game. The pre-rounds leading up to the final mission, completely repetitive over and over again, and you're stupid, honestly. I don't get the point of them. I really don't, and I think they should just be kind of thrown out, or at least have the option to be able to do a playlist where you don't have to do them. Story mode, shooting, like I mentioned, it was just completely shoot into the game, wasn't needed really at all. All it did was this tease Dino Crisis and what I could have got with Dino Crisis, and it just makes me say, fuck you, Capcom. You get to create your own character, but honestly, I wish I didn't get that, because one, creating your own character, there's not that many options to choose from, which really annoy me. But because they're doing a create your own character, they decided to do a silent protagonist, which, if you know anything about me, I'm not a huge fan of silent protagonists unless it's used in the correct way. However, if you're gonna do a create your own character, it makes things a little bit better, since, okay, you're creating a whole new character, so fine, you can get away with doing a silent protagonist. But the create your character option was honestly not that good, and I just found it pointless. I'd rather have got an actual character, like maybe choose the guy or girl version, rather than a create your character and then get a silent protagonist. I feel like that was pointless. Silent protagonist, in my opinion, always makes like story and dialogue elements of the game really awkward. Another thing that really annoys me, and I have seen other games do it a lot better to where it makes sense, but this time I didn't like the way it was done, and that has to do with the analysis map. There's a map where you get like different types of information as you complete playlists, and as you finish them, you might collect some information on specific elements of the game, therefore you might get a small little cutscene. However, it's lazy in my opinion, because a majority of the story is actually hidden behind these, but they're not full-blown cutscenes. They're pretty much just stills in front of you, and you just hear the voice acting, but you don't get to see actual scenes. And to me, it was a lazy way of just hurry up and giving us a story without wasting time on creating the cutscenes for us, and I found that to be extremely lazy and really annoying in my opinion. The final thing I'm going to complain about before we move to the final verdict is that you don't get to actually choose a playlist, and that sucks, because honestly, if I could choose a playlist, I can see myself playing this game for a lot longer and a lot more. What I mean by this is that pretty much you have 3 options to choose from whenever you are playing this game. Option 1, PvE. Option 2, random. Option 3, PvP. As I mentioned earlier, I don't like the final missions that are PvE. I just don't have fun with them, and that's fine. That's just me personally. That's a personal opinion. However, I can only select either PvP, PvE, or random. But like I also mentioned earlier, the final missions, the PvP ones, the really good ones I like, stuff like data security key and stuff, I really want to do that multiple times. I love doing that final mission. But because of the setup, the way they have things set up, I can't just go do data key security. I might get one of my least favorite final missions, which is an additional add-on to the dinosaur call. And that sucks. Like, I don't like doing that at all, and I have to keep playing that instead of getting the playlist I want to do, the final mission I want to do, which is data key security. So there are like 75% things I hate about the multiplayer and 25% I like, and I can't even voluntarily do the 25% I like. I have to still wait for a random encounter to do the parts that I do really enjoy, and that annoys the hell out of me so much. But with the pros and cons out of the way, let's jump straight into the number. What is my final verdict for this game? Well, honestly, I'm not a huge live service person, so this game probably wasn't meant for me, but even still, I think with a lot of elements taken into consideration, and me even trying my best to fall in love with this game, and I see it having some really amazing qualities to it that I think has some potential. The thing is I can't enjoy the parts that I love about the game that much because I don't get the option to. And because I'm basically forced to play the way I don't really want to play the game, I don't enjoy it as much. So while I don't think this game is a bad game, I definitely don't think it's a good game, which puts me right in the middle. I am a perfect 5 out of 10. This is right on the fence for me personally. And if you like this game, bravo, I applaud you. I'm glad you really enjoy this game. And I can see it being a good game for a lot of people. But for me personally, this is not my taste. I feel like there's too much that this game leaves out, and this game just really tries hard to make a live service game while also having that $60 price tag, and I don't think that's right. I hate that. I despise that. And it's weird because I see everybody talking about this game, and it's pretty much getting positive reviews. It's not getting torn apart at all by anybody for the most part. I would say people are probably giving it like 7, 8 territory, which bravo to Capcom for getting that. But me personally, maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe I'm just crazy and I'm completely out there. Guys, hit up the comments. Let me know in the comments what I'm missing here. But me personally, this game is average at best. But that's going to do it for this episode of Nerd Space. Guys, hit up the comments. Let me know what you think of this game. And let me know what you think of my score for Exoprimal. Do you think I'm being a little too harsh on it? Or do you think I should be tearing this game apart even more? But with that, guys, thank you for joining me on this episode. And as always, I'll see you on the next episode of Nerd Space. Take care.